Okay. There's two Anis. I have to introduce myself and say it's me. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We will probably start in another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, can
Yes,
hear.
madam. Yes, can
Okay,
hear.
okay, because
Yes.
you all seem to be
Yes.
breaking up a bit. Okay, fine. We wait another 2-3 minutes, then we will start. I think we will go ahead and start. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Statworks PERCEPTRON Big Data Analytics platform. So what we are going to do today is introduce our platform in regards to enhancing intelligence, investigation, and enforcement for government agency. So basically what we are going to do is, this is going to be a 2-hour presentation. The first hour, we will cover one module, which is in regards to intelligence as well as investigation part. And then the further investigation, intelligence and enforcement will be covered by the second module, which is from 3 to 4, which is actually will be given by our partner in regards to this particular part of the module. So what I'll do is I will run through a presentation slide to introduce to you all what is this solution all about and what it can do. And then later on go into the product itself, show you all a brief demonstration of the features and functionality. So just a bit of introduction to Statworks Group, right? We have been around since 1999. We are in the area of analytics, and we have many leading technologies in regards to analytics that we carry in this region, which is basically Southeast Asia. And our solution range from analytics to search engines to GIS, as well as data science, and now, of course, the new concept of AI and machine learning. So we do not only provide the solution, but we do the implementation. We provide technical support, training, as well as consulting. Our main HQ is in PJ, and then we do have an office in Singapore as well as in India. So these are the leading solution partners. What we have done in regards to today's solution offering, which is PERCEPTRON Big Data Analytics Platform, We have taken some of this leading technology in regards to their solution, and we have powered it in order to give a whole total solution. So there are different modules in regards to Perceptron, but today's concentration is basically only going to be on two modules, which we are targeting in regards for investigation, intelligence work, and also enforcement for the government agency. So these are some of our key customer lists, right? From government agency to manufacturing, engineering, finance, and others. So they are not only in Malaysia, but covering also Southeast Asia, Singapore, some India market, Indonesia, and so forth. So in regards to why we have come up with this particular solution, Perceptron, right, in regards to this for the government agency, particularly what we looked at, these are some of the key problems that the government have, right? Most of the process is not automated. So everything is done in silo. And in regards to even in looking at analytics, bringing in the data, they're all done silo and then they're done comparison, right, with regards to what is available, how they compare to each other, and how do they tie up. So this takes time, cost as well, and also the results come out much later than what it need to be. So what we are doing with in regards to Perceptron is we are trying to automate the process in order to accelerate the results so that the government or the agencies can take better decisions faster and more effectively. So like I said, most of what we have noticed is the data sources or even the databases or even files, they're all sitting separately. They're not connected. You're not able to correlate the data. And even if, let's say, you have done a certain analytics, you have found out, okay, these are the reason for it, and then the detection, there is no alert in order to automatically indicate if there's any new cases that fit the particular profile comes in. And then, of course, the main thing is the data preparation is very tedious and time consuming. So sometimes even before you can do the analytics, right, you have to do a lot of data cleansing. And usually most of the government agencies or even in regards to commercial organization, we have noticed that they do have all these different tools separately, and then they are not all tied together. Then everyone is doing that all in different solution and then trying to bring it in order to do analytics. So it takes a lot of time making sure results from one solution can comply to results that need to be shown in another solution. So in regards to Perceptron, what we are looking at is basically in regards to speed, scalability. It's able to find patterns and connection across all data. You are able to search, right, on all the data sources. The data sources can be internal data source, and it could be from different type of database sitting in different platforms. And then it can also tie in with external agency, their data, as well as data that is coming from web or websites or even web services. You have, say, for instance, we are looking at enforcement, investigation, intelligence, you might have blacklist or FBI list, all those things. It able to bring in those information that you can compare and see and give the alert accordingly. And on top of it, based on the fact that the Perceptron system will be able to indicate, right, a particular alert that based on the analysis that you've done, if the new data that comes in, it fits the profile, it's able to alert people accordingly, depending on how you set up the configuration. And in regards to data preparation, right, the Perceptron solution in regards to the module, it's able to bring in billions of records. I will explain on this in regards to whatever that you have your data. So a lot of them will say, okay, if I have a particular database, my database size is growing, and then in regards to bringing in the data to do the analysis, right, this is very difficult. Whereas in Perceptron DataWalk, the way they have done or created the solution is the fact that we are able to kind of zip it up, right? It's able to condense the data so billions of records can sit on a particular environment, which maybe in a normal circumstances, it can only take about maybe millions of data, not billions, right? But in regards to DATAWALK, the way they have done it was the solution allows you to bring in any kind of data, how big the data also, you're able to load it in, right? And it has a database. The database can be an industry standard database, but they have the technology in order to condense the data by the time it brings in and sits into the data source. So that's what it's doing. So on top of it, PERCEPTRON is able to look at your intelligence analysis, where you are able to incorporate rule-based as well as machine learning, and also in regards to AI, like networks, social network analytics, all in one solution. So you do not need another one solution for rule-based system, another one for AI, another one for machine learning. All the features come in one, and it's able to apply this across your data in order for you to find the best profile. So in regards to today's presentation, the first part will be on PERCEPTRON DATAWALK, where we are looking at, it's kind of like link analysis, we call it in one word, but what we call it as entity mining, where we look at all the different entities, how they are connected together, and then to build a certain profile accordingly using AI, machine learning, and of course the rule-based system. So the investigators or even the analysts, right, they are able to find patterns that they might not normally find, and they are able to apply it to new data that's coming in so that it will profile accordingly. Now, of course, rule-based system is the fact that it depends on the analysts, right? They have a lot of experience maybe in that particular domain. Then they are able to put in a particular rule, and they can indicate the weightage that this rule will take more weightage as compared to another rule. But in regards to the AI and machine learning, as well as the AI machine learning, and also in regards to social network analytics, that comes automatically in the system where it apply against the data. So you will have all this different type of profiling done accordingly, and the system will assign which is the best profile in order to profile the data accordingly. Now, if you do not want that and you want the system, you want to control what is being applied, you can also do that as well. But the system will suggest or recommended that this would be the best profile scoring in order to apply to the data. So that's on the DATAWALK. The next one, the next hour, we'll be going into PERCEPTRON AI Enterprise Intelligence, where this is looking at automation of generation, right, of an extraction, as well as passing of unstructured information, text analytics actually, in a way. It's able to pull up information even from PDF, static charts. It's able to pull out your data that you need in order to put into analytic solutions so that you can analyze further. So that's basically the two options that we will be showing you all today. Okay, so in regards to PERCEPTRON, the advantage is basically, this is the summary of it: easy integration, accessibility, you're able to connect all data in one place, whether it is database, web services, social media, blogs, or even file system. Everything is in one system. You're able to bring it in, it can load, and then you can try to find the pattern. So it is basically enabling a single platform where all your data sources is in one. And on top of it, we are able to do the intelligence part, investigation, and all enforcement all in one platform. So what it's doing is finding the patterns and connections across all the data using the different technology, which is rule-based system, AI, and machine learning, and then applying it so that your investigation process would be more effective, and then you can take the appropriate action of enforcement as well. So Perceptron also allows collaboration. That means you can securely share the data and the results within your own department or any other external agency that you need to do. And on top of it, it can accelerate the results in the sense that it can enable the alerts so that any new information coming in that is going to fit that particular profile or the rule or whatever that is needed, it is easily able to generate what we call as the risk cost. Risk cost is like, say, for instance, if you have a fraud or whatever is happening or criminal activity, which is highest probability of that person or the entity being in regards to the in regards to doing something criminal. So that's what it's going to look at. So people are able to look at the risk cost to see what needs to be prioritized, to look at what is needed and when it is needed. So these are mainly the Perceptron advantages. So what I'll do first is I'll go through in regards to DATAWALK, then I will go through the system itself. If you all have any questions, please feel free to ask after the presentation. And then around 3 o'clock, we will continue with regards to Perceptron AI. So in regards to this, right, the challenge is basically you're trying to analyze data, right? Access, you want to connect to various kinds of data with different data sources. So it can be internal database, external subscription, case-specific case management as well. And this one means open source intelligence, right? These are like your dark web or darknet as well. It's able to connect to those kind of things as well in order for you to do the appropriate things. We do have the tools that we can go in order to find some of these hidden records that is not available publicly. But this, of course, it comes with a subscription as well. And then if any of the agencies would like to further discuss on this, we can actually talk about how we can connect to open source intelligence crawlers. This is what it basically is doing. It's actually going and crawling the information needed. Okay, so this is DATAWALK. So you have where you are tying up all the different information and how it's going to come out as these entities, right? You have maybe your phone, address, your crime, the name, your transaction record, account number, whatever is needed. So it can be both. It can be structured as well as unstructured information. Even if you with your reports and so forth, you can still attach together. And then you are able to search for a connection between the different data sources. And this can come, you can actually view it visually. And then you're able to also look at how they are connected, whether it is directly connected, that means first connection, direct connection, or is it indirect? In DATAWALK, it can go up to about 10 levels of indirect. That's what it can do. And then on top of that, once you have done your analysis, you can open up an investigation file and you can attach the relevant documentation, image, the report, the analytics, everything. And this can be shared with others as well within your agency who is looking at the same thing. So this is kind of like a nutshell of a screenshot as well, right? So you look at the first part where you're linking everything together, and then the next part is you visualize it. There is an option as well in DATAWALK that if you have analysts who create all the different type of analysis, and then those analyses can be reused again by those who are not totally involved in the analytical part. That means they are basically maybe enforcement officers or on the field officers who need to apply certain, need to find out, okay, what they need to do and so forth. So this is what it comes out. And this can be delivered to them via their email or their solution, as well as in mobile as well. Both option is available. So this is the main part, right? So we look at the fact we will work across, and I know I'm reiterating this, but this is the important factors of DATAWALK, basically different multiple data sources in different platforms, different type of data sources, both internal and external. And then it can accept the data without first cleaning it. Now, that's the good thing about this solution. A lot of solution out there, you must clean the data first before it accept into an analytic system in order to analyze. So most of them do ETL, right? Is extract, transform, load. But in regards to DATAWALK, we can extract, load first, and then decide to transform if the data needs cleaning. So you do not need to wait until the data is cleansed before you actually upload into the system to analyze. So as long as you have got the configuration, right, in order to connect to all the different data sources, so within, few weeks, you can start working on the system and you're able to bring it in. And if it's necessary to clean, they also have the cleansing feature in the solution itself where you can cleanse. And then it looks at smart entity resolution, where each one of it becomes an entity that you can further analyze, and it can find the different connection as well within direct or indirect as well. You can actually connect to real-time data feeds, like even like real-time videos or IoT solutions and things like that, in order to analyze further. It is accessible via web browser. There is no client installed. So anyone who has a web browser, you are able to access this solution. Easy to maintain, easy to configure, easy to tune it. And on top of it, you have security as well incorporated quite high level in regards to there's encryption involved. As well as in regards to user roles and things like that. It can connect to single sign-on, both Active Directory as well as LDAP. And you can even do real-time collaboration as well. You can able to send the information to whoever is needed, right? You can immediately put, okay, these are the alerts, these are things the person needs to look at and send to the person in order for the other person to be able to look at things. This is the architecture diagram, basically on DATAWALK. So as you can see, on the left-hand side is all your different data sources. It has server solution where the computational engine is sitting inside, and the storage is horizontally scaled. That's why it's able to condense it well in order to receive a lot more data, right? And there have been proven cases where it has shown that very huge data is able to process the information very fast. Now, these are all the different features it has in there. It can load all of your different data entities in the system for you to see which is connected to what. Then you can do a walk in regards to how many indirect or direct connection using your link charts. It can also do spatial analytics. It is tied currently, not yet to Esri yet, but they use OpenStreetMap and also Google Maps. right? And in regards to scoring, it can do the scoring using the 3 methodology that we talked about, rule-based system, AI, and machine learning. And it's able to do temporal analysis. Here is your time series analysis. So all your transactions, if you have different transactions going between the same person multiple times within a day and so forth, it's also able to give you that information as well. So this is the recognition, we call it as the recognition method, right? That's able to look at machine learning as well as text learning, mining, expert rules, right? And graph algorithm. So graph algorithm is basically is to look at social network analytics. It's like cluster analysis. So it looks at that in order to detect your suspicious clusters. So in regards to now the current issue of even COVID-19, DATAWalk is able to handle that. If you have information with regards to even telephone activity, location, and things like that, it's able to detect the suspicious or potential clusters that have a high risk of contracting COVID in the near future and so forth. So it can be time-based as well. So these are some of the scenario that we believe those involved in the intelligence, investigation, and enforcement might look at, right? In regards to fraud is the main one. So across different agency from tax agency, you were looking at tax fraud, customs fraud, anti-money laundering, even in regards to procurement fraud as well. So you might want to look at all the different contractors or suppliers and whether any of your staff members or anyone is influencing how the suppliers are getting the jobs and so forth. So that can be tracked as well. So this is, so this example was 5 levels, but now with the latest version, they can go up to about 10 levels apart, right? So the thicker the line is, there's more transaction between the different entities, and you can see the entities. And at the bottom here, it shows you like a time series, when that particular transaction had happened, what month and so forth. So you're able to track it in that sense as well. This is one in regards to the entities location. So you can find based on, of course, you need to have location information in order to place where the transactions or whatever crime is happening. And on top of it, it's able to tie up to Google as well in order to actually see the view and verify that this place do exist and so forth. So it's able to connect with that as well. So this is in regards to DATAWalk's performance. As you can see, this was an actual case done in Finland's Ministry of Finance, right? And they actually tied to 6 data sources and the records for 4 billion terabytes of data, 40 billion links, and all in one node. So traditional way, they were taken many months and years to implement. But within DATAWalk, it was weeks, and the complex queries and even computation times is 60 times faster. This is an actual study that was done. So this is not, we are not making this up. So this was the actual customer case study. So you can see based on this, even in regards to joining the data, when you merge with the different data sources, database tables and all that, you can actually see that this is in regards to DATAWalk. So linearly, it can do 600 plus joins and very fast. So whereas, it actually goes in that way. It's easy, time very much, lesser time in seconds, and you can actually join all this easily. So the main key advantage is all data connected, in one platform, right? You can get some results even with dirty data, right? There are techniques to identify the dirty data, no need to clean the data first. billions of records, automation of importing the process. You can tie it up based on the different data source. You can refresh the way that you can set up the scoring models. You do not need to use any of the scripts or even programming language or even SQL. Everything can be point and click kind of thing. You just have to end up putting in what are the weightages that is needed. You can able to use the scoring models. It is based on expert rule system. Different weightage can be given, and you can even tie up the behavior of the pattern with the profile of the person, right? The demographic profile, in order to determine the risk, right? We can also have an API as well incorporated. So if you have your own solution, you can incorporate the engine in order to do that as well. And it's a fraction of cost compared to other enterprise class alternatives. Doing not really the same thing. We believe in regards to DATAWALK, it has most of the features that it is actually available individually in different solutions. Okay, so I will go into giving a demo of the system. Now it's just sample data, and I'm going to be looking at okay, so I'm going to be looking at, do you all see my screen? You all see the DATAWALK interface?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone should be able to see the DATAWALK. I just shared that interface right now. So this is using web browser. There is no client application itself. You actually launch the web browser. Put in particular URL. There will be, depending on the security level that you indicate, right? Username, password, or other things that you need to able to access. That's how it goes in. You can configure that differently for different customers depending on their security level as well. So this is the main interface of DATAWALK. Okay, this is how it looks like. Now, it might not seem a lot in the sense that the menu is only one part of this menu, and these are the options available. But inside each of the options, you have the different features and functionality in order to do what is needed. Okay, so for today's particular demo, I am going to be showing in regards to kind of like it's fraud. So depending on the agency you're coming from, you probably can relate based on that, but mainly this is, I wanted to keep it general. So I'm just looking at procurement type of fraud, where it's tied to different types of suppliers' information, right? Even in regards to employees, and also in regards to the billing system, payment and receivable as well. And then if there are any whistleblowers in regards to that particular list, sanction list that could come from international agency or even internal through a web service. You can have social media information as well as offshore information and things like that, right? So some of this particular entities that you see here, it's coming directly from the data source. There's no manipulation done, no calculation, no scoring, anything. Whereas this part of it where it shows you scoring of the contractors, scoring of the employees and so forth, this is actually generated in the system. We apply the different rule-based or even machine learning. Machine learning, mainly we basically you're running scripts of Python and R. That's what it supports. So you put that in, and then you also do, it has a feature in order to do social network analytics as well. And it will actually do the scoring in order to find, based on that method, what would be the probability of the risk factor of particular entities or individual or whatever it is that you're looking at. So that's what the demo is going to be based on, this particular data. I will go through the different process and the different capabilities. So this is the main functionality where you will go and look into link analysis. You look at a particular workspace, how you manage the analysis. And last part, of course, you're creating the investigation. It's like case management. You create the case files, attach what is needed in order to take the appropriate action or enforcement of what is needed in regards to the particular results that you have got. So when we first go into DATAWALK, this is the first part of the screen that we will see. So we have all this different, of course, this is already loaded because in regards to the databases and everything that need to be configured beforehand, right, at the backend process. Unless you have, let's say, an Excel file or something that you want to bring it in, then you can add the set here itself. So you can actually go in here, you can drag and drop the file, or you can select a particular file. So you are able to go in, right? So this will be depending, it can recognize CSV, it can recognize Excel, text files, and so forth, all the different types of files. So you can actually bring it in based on that. It will show you this is how the particular file look like. So let's say I don't want to bring in this information, it seems empty. So I'm not going to bring this in. Then you have the factor that in case you want to change, right, whether the data type is going to be an integer, float, whatever that you need to, that is available as well. You can assign a name to that, or basically the default is you'll take the name of the file itself. So once this is, you feel it's okay, then you save this. Sorry, that was already one side. Okay, so if you already have a name that was created for the particular set, then it will actually prompt you and say that this cannot be saved. So this is what it's done. So once this is done already, based on the information, it will put it in. So it actually tells you it has been indicated, and this is what it is, right? So it's an entity, and I can actually save that. I can change the data set type, icons, whatever that I need as well. You have all these different types that comes in as well. I'll just choose show. Just change that, anything, right? Based on the details itself, you can change it accordingly. Now, if you want to tie it up to this, right? Now, this is a different data set from what I brought in, just to show you an example, but I'll just show you how we can actually tie it up. Is you will add a connection to it. And let's say you put based on the connection, and immediately it will come up with create a connection. So the connection, you can indicate whether you want it to be a direct connection, indirect, or whatever it is. You can name the connection. Let's say just the name of the connection. You can add in whether you want to compare text values. That means maybe you want to, the main key would be the name itself, or maybe the IC number or whatever is needed. So if it is numeric values, then you compare based on numeric values. So it will indicate. So if it puts here where it doesn't show anything, that means there were no information of numeric inside that. That's what you basically do based on that. So if you don't want that, you can actually delete that out, and then we can just say case insensitive. So I can take based on name, and contractor also I can put a name. Okay, so based on name, and I can just apply this, and then it will connect based on that. So when they say insensitive, that means they make it all uppercase, right? They have converted it based on that. That's what it's doing. So we can actually do that as well in order to connect what is needed. So you can just apply it. Okay. So this is based on that, but of course the names are nothing much of what is here, but we just based on the fact that, so if the names does not match, then basically if you're going to have about 100 names here and 1,000 names here, it's just going to join both of that together. There's no how do you say, similarity in names. But if there is similarity in names, then it will take it as one record. That is what it's going to do. Okay, so what's happening here is the fact that, okay, based on all these, the different types, right? We have contractors. I can actually see we have about 16,000 contractors in my database. And then if I'm looking at employees, there's about 13,000 of them. Then if I want to look at orders, I can see about 5,000 orders. Invoices, there's about 36, and so forth. So these are all the different type of options we have in the system itself. We can also bring in, okay, we can also bring in emails if we want to as well. That's possibility of Microsoft Outlook, PSD files, you can recognize as well. That will be able to put in. So this is how it is. That means it will show individually what you're loading in regards to the information itself. Now, what I'm going to do is I can also go in based on this, right? I can look at sanction list here. And what I'll do here is I'll make the sanction list like the main list, right? So it will create kind of like an analytical flow because it knows when I try to make it like a main list, I'm trying to now find a certain pattern to it and then to see what is available. So here, what I'm trying to see is, okay, this is a sanction list of, people that, or companies or contractors that they would have found maybe have involved in some kind of fraud or another, and the list is there, and we want to see whether anyone in this list coincide with our contractors' information in the database. So when you do that and you put based on this, it tells me that about 109 of my contractors are in the sanction list. That's what it does. Okay, so now based on this information, I want to go and find out more detail in regards to the contractors' information. So I will make the contractors' information as the main one right now because I've already identified those are the 109 contractors who are in the sanction list as well. Now you can see once I make that like a main list, then it shows me all the different connections that I have. There's some connections you can see based on this, right? You can see it shows you some, like shows you 4, some 1 and 2. So what it's trying to say is how many connections are there? How many did you do in order to justify? So like in this employees one, I have about 4 different types of connections. So what I said was make sure the contractors. So what this is doing is I want to find out if any of the contractors that we gave, my agency gave the job to, is there any connection to my employees itself who have, maybe they have some, side dealings or what. So how do I check this, right? So I could check based on the address, based on whether they were responsible for the contractor to be getting that particular job, whether they have same account number. Maybe some of the employees might have set up their own company and the number, account number is the same. That's the account number being used for the contractor. So these are all the different types that you can identify in order to see if there is any suspicious patterns or not. Okay, so that's on this part of it. But what I'm doing is once I make this as well, I can also go in here to look at some details of the contractors as well. So it shows me based on the contractor right now. Now, these are the parameters of the contractors. So this shows me the city where they are, different types of contractors, where they are from. There are some cluster rules. I'm going to hide that. This is reported by whistleblower. So there might be some contractors, right, who are on the whistleblower list, right? And they were actually reported having done some fraud activity, right, by this whistleblower. And that information is indicated here itself. Now, you might think, okay, this means, okay, these are all the when you see in the histogram, you will see all the different entities, right, that's appearing in the histogram. And then each of these entities have their own parameters. Now, you might think, okay, that means contractors, I only have city and reported by watch a whistleblower the sum of invoices. Is there anything more? No. Yes, there is more details that is in here, but you can select what you want to see in regards to the contractor. I don't want to see maybe their bank info. I don't want to see the name, nothing, right? There are only certain ones that I want to see, and that is what you can check. You can do like a checklist in order to show what needs to be shown in the histogram, what you want to see. So based on this information, as you can see on top here, this is the flow that is doing. That means this part of it is capturing whatever I'm doing in regards to the analytics, so that next time I don't need to repeat this process again. That means what I've done first is I looked at the sanction list and I wanted to see the sanction list for any connection to the contractor. Now I have opened up this and I want to put in some things here where I want to indicate those contractors who were actually in the list of the whistleblower. That means the whistleblowers have actually made a report against this particular contractors. So from this, I can see based on the 109, 104 was not given based on the whistleblower. That means only 5 of them were reported by whistleblowers. So I want to see who were these 5. So I can just double click on this. And what this will do is it will take that 5. And what it will do in the meantime, it will put in this factor. It's like a filtering, right? So I filtered based on that, and I say only identify from the 109 which contractors that also have in the whistleblowers list, which is only these 5 contractors. Now, based on this information, and I want to see whether these are all the cities, the different cities, as you can see. So based on the city, it actually tells me whoever that was reported by whistleblower, these are only the cities they are coming from. So I will take the Martin View city. And what this is doing is it is putting 2 conditions here. So if I'm going to fulfill an N, that means both these conditions must be fulfilled, then basically there's only going to be 2 contractors. But if I'm going to be choosing an or, then it will be all 5. Okay, because it can be either this or that. It doesn't matter. So it depends on how. So you can move this around as well. Change the values of this. Let's say maybe I don't want it to be Martin View. I can actually click on this and it goes into this, and I can actually change based on this details, right? And it will show me all the other places that I can select in order to filter as well. Okay, so this is what it does on this part. So this whole process, I can save it as an analytics, which I can use it the next time, or it can be shared with another analyst who would need to look at this as well, and they can just apply this analytics instead of them going through the process again. So that's what it happens. Okay. So once that is done, right, I can go into my part here to save the analytics. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I said fraud. Okay, I just name this based on this, and I can put it into different folders. They have different folders. They have pre-contract, post-contract, fraud scenarios. So this is like post-contract. Based on this, there is no link to any investigation yet. I have not created, but we can just put that so that it will link up later on. Then I can just save this as well. So now when I go under my menu and I go to manage analysis, right? So under my post contract is what I saved. I can go and take a look. This was all like previously done, right? I can see the fraud 23 April. So this was what was initially indicated based on that. Okay, and I can check this and I can see based on the results what would be my table view as well. So I can actually go in and it opens up those contractors who are fulfilling that condition, basically the 5, because I put it as a or, I didn't put it as an N. So these were all the 5 names based on that. So that's your results. based on that particular analysis, right? So same thing here, when you actually go into this, right, I can look at a table view as well. Sorry, I forgot to show you all this. So under the table view, you can see based on this, where you can also go in to manage your column, where you can do calculated columns and you can select what you want to do as well. And you know, in regards to if you want to do advanced column, then you are doing a combination. That means it's like a calculation. Column 1 plus column 2, divide by 2, and so forth. So the operators, everything is here, depending on how that you want to do it, right? So those things are there, available under your manage column. There are a lot of things here based on the details itself. Or we can actually go in and clean the data. So this is the data correctness part, where I can go into this to look at it and show advanced option, and I can select the different things that I can do in order to clean duplicate data or dirty data or missing data or whatever that is needed. Okay, so this option is here as well, if you need, in order to clean the data. So that comes under the data part itself. Okay, so I will move on. I do not have much time. Okay, so so what happens here is based on this, right? I would want to look at creating in regards to the scoring. So this is a scoring part. So if you look under the part of the scoring here, you can look at the table view. This gives you the score summary, right, of the current scoring system, where you use expert rule 61. Where you feel that the action needed is you need to improve some of this, because this could be coming from you based on your experience and so forth. So as you go on, the system gives you the results, you will look at it and see, okay, do I need to make some more changes and so forth. So it's like a whole learning process. The machine learning, it is done on its own based on it, and also the social network analytics, the cluster itself. So these are the three methodologies, the different type that it uses in order to give you the score summary. So the current score summary, right, I can take a look at that based on this. This is the current score when you try to score the contractors. So it says contractor employee with the same address, officers on Panama's papers list. Of course, they have few things. Now, all this numbers tree is giving you the weightage. Of course, 10 is the highest weightage. 1 is low, it's like, 10% and so forth, whether 100%, whatever that you need. So these are the things that you can indicate, right? And so when you are trying to score the contractors, it will go through all this depending on the different weightage and then give you the scoring results. So when you look at the table view based on this, you would have the scores. So these are the scores, right? So so there were two guys who got very high scores, but this one looks like same information, but different values, different IDs. So this could be one of the duplicate data that we need to look at as well to see based on that, right? So this is how we look at this. Now, if I want to add in this current analysis that I need to inside my particular scoring as well, there's another part, another rule that I want to add in. What you can do is you can actually go in and create a duplicate score. So based on this duplicate score, you can name your one score today, something, anything, right? So in this part of it, you can go and check. You should have the score. This is the one for April. So I want to put in that this is about 8, right? And then you just save it.
Yang itu 135.
Okay, so the score has been added as well. It will add another score. Hold on. Okay, so this is the part for the scoring. Okay, so this is the score information. So under about, you can see, you can take out any of this if you feel you don't want to as well, you can take it out. But this was the final one that we added. So this is a bit different score compared to the other one. So you can actually create many different scoring mechanism in here in order to see which one gives you the best results. So that is one of the option as well. So when we look at this, right, under our manage analysis, like I said, right, we can actually go in and look at all the different types. But another part that we can also go in is we can look at the workspace. The workspace will show you all the different scenarios that we have created as well. So some of the scenario, there is also an alert. You can actually create an alert as well. So you can edit the alert when it comes in based on that. Those things you can add in as well. So they have all these different types of scenario that we can set up. So this is how it looks like. So here under my cases, I will go and show you. So we had this where they looked at the fact that these were the scores, right? They have identified some of the contractors. So I will take the contractor with the highest score, 36, and I can go in here and I look at summary of this contractor. That's the BCM group. So it gives you a dossier on the contractor, all the information related to the contractor. This you can customize what you want it to appear, right? You can indicate all the, a picture of the contractors, maybe the building. Then you can indicate whether all these particular rules were assigned. The contractor's information is here. Who was the whistleblower's information as well. Her name comes out as well. And then you can also indicate what were the expert rules from which of the ones that was applied for this particular contractor in regards to him getting that particular score. And another good thing about this is, if let's say based on this particular expert rules, okay, you have maybe about 10 or 12 here. If it fulfills this condition, then you can put in a recommendation what you want the further action to be. So this is the good thing about in regards to the enforcement part, where the system can assist as well. So after you're doing your analytics, you investigate further and then you indicate, okay, if it happens, this is what the person needs to do next in order to to actually find out whether the person actually committed that particular fraud or not. So this are a few of the things. You can also look at the different clusters as well. It has a cluster group here. And it seemed to have 4 different entities tied to the cluster group. You can look at the tenders they were involved in as well. Along with the orders, there's no data here. There's some which is, they don't have a data on that. On the part of the cluster group, let me go in. I would want to look at, open the cluster. Just one more part just to show. Okay, so this is the part of the link analysis. The initial one we saw was just indicating. So this is more of the flow. So from this, I can already see this is the account number, right? There are 2 vendors sharing, contractors sharing one account number. On top of it is being shared by an employee. Definitely suspicious already, right? So these are the few things that you can find out. You can also do based on the particular vendor. I can find out if there's some more added link objects. First particular link, maybe of additional bank account, maybe in regards to employees or even what tender they were involved in. So this part of it, you can get further details.
Yalah, dia ambil angin. Dia dah bayar tau.
Okay. So it shows you that this person is, there's another person connected to this. Now, I want to find out if this person is also an employee or how that works as well. You can also find a part of the person. This might take some time. picture, let's say
Khalif, jom.
an object, you can specify that, okay, this one went to the contractor, maybe you should go to employees, right? And based on the
Ketiga.
sorry, I will go to the employees, and based on the analysis, say that this employee may often suggest contractors or something like that. You can remove other parts. This might take some time, but these are things that you can find out. So you can find out if there is a shortest path to this that will show a connection, so you can analyze it further. So this is what it
Terima kasih, Beni.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here. Okay, so they say no parts were found, so there's nothing there based on the thing. So this for further investigation, you're able to connect, look at it, detailed view, whether it can be first level or second degree as well, and it can find you the different connection that
Pakai topi. Apa bagi topi apa?
so you can also look at it based on the fact it is. So it tells you, so, but this one doesn't give me much information, just this only. It doesn't give me a lot more on that. Let me see if this, even this much information. So these are a few of the things that you can look at in order to do. Now all this will finally come back to the investigation. I will launch this. This is the last part. So it will tell me which are the investigation which is open, close, pending. So you will be at least know based on it. So there's one open. I look at it based on fraud scheme. And I can see based on that, it gives you an object, bank account, what are the cluster information, attached link chart, it attached some emails information. All that is relevant in order to get how do you say, in order to inform whether the right, sorry, it will give you all these are supporting documents in order to find the person guilty or not. So there were 8 results found. So it's up to you how you want to attach in order for you to, so everything comes in one system. You do not have where you do the analytics in another system, then you bring it in, into your case management and so forth. But with DATAWALK as well, you can integrate to whatever your case management solution as well in order to get the information from here and push it into your own particular solution as well. Okay, that's about it. Is there any questions? Hello? Okay, so no questions, then we will move on to the AI Enterprise Intelligence Solution.
Hi, Rohini, Lip Sing here.
Yes, you can go ahead, Lip Sing.
Okay, all right. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Lip Sing. I'm from Singapore. I'm the partner of Statworks. We are from ABC Technology. So first, I want to thank all of you for attending. And I also want to thank Statworks for inviting. They are also distributor. I have worked with Mahesh, Rohini, Kumar from my previous companies. So a short introduction about myself. I'm an ABC Technology. I'm based in Singapore. I take care of their international business. And before that, I was with IBM in analytics and AI. Before that, Oracle and Sun. So one thing I have something very common with all of you right now is we are all sitting at home right now and looking at a computer screen, and we are all missing going out. So Singapore, we are having a lockdown as well until the 1st of June at least. So
Adik basuh kaki.
what I'll take you through is an interesting form of AI.
Adik nak kencing tak?
Show you some benefits, intro to our company, some sample use cases, a product demo. Okay.
Mana kakak?
So I'm very impressed by what Rohini has shown just now. Really, very impressive. I was very interested. But for mine, it's a bit different. What we deal with is the world of unstructured data. And what's unstructured data? So, we begin by understanding what is considered structured data. Structured data means columns and rows. Data that can be organized into columns and rows like spreadsheet, Excel, numbers, things that you can store inside a computer and the computer can read. This is what a lot of computer is doing now, and a lot of advances in AI and predictive analytics are doing. And this is great. The problem is that in our daily world, a lot of information that we are processing is actually written for you and I, means humans, and they are stored as text. And computers, you pass them a text document, you send an email, they cannot execute because they don't understand our human language. So this problem, there's a lot of such data around. You just go to your office and you resume work, you find stacks and stacks of documents around, but the computer cannot work on them. Okay, so they make up as much as 80% of the data around, and 20% is what is computer can understand. Of course, this 80% will consist of videos, voice, but for ABC, we deal mainly with text document. And text document can occur in like documents, it can be Word, can be in images, can be in form PDF, emails, any form of text, websites, data feeds, as well as structured document as well. And this, the computer cannot process. So what we are trying to do is find a solution that can help to automatically extract information from all this day-to-day voluminous amount of text document that you encounter. These are some of our clients from ABC Technology. This company started in China, so we have over 30 customers. Most of them are in China, but they are all very big companies like their Sovereign Fund, China Investment Corporation. They have Ping An, they have China Life, and also outside of China, we have that they are starting to come out. They have Hong Kong Stock Exchange that we automate a lot of their document processing. We have GIC, which is down there, a Government Investment Corporation. This is a sovereign wealth fund in Singapore, so it's a government link. We have Sense in Macau. And we just started in Hong Kong, in Singapore, middle of last year. So we are fairly new, but already we are attracting a lot of interest. So I'd like to share some of the things we can do. That's why people are interested. Again, overview of a company. Basically, we automate extraction of data, search, analysis, and reporting one click. We use AI and we look at the awards portion. This company win quite a few awards. So like IDC FinTech Fast 101. This is we are recognized by IDC, an international leading analyst. We are awarded one of the top 101 companies in the whole Asia Pacific. This is not something we apply. They go and do ground research and they think this is one of the most promising companies. We also get awards from Deloitte and KPMG. So these are all international recognition. Just because it starts from China doesn't mean that it's a China company, but we're pretty international. Okay, so summarize what really we do. So ABC, we created and patented AI document processing platform. So it's a platform that uses AI, a type of AI, deep learning. And what we do is we combine natural language processing or NLP for short, which means that this AI has the ability to understand language that humans use. That's why you call it natural language. And we combine it with computer vision so that sometimes you give an image, the computer, our AI can see as if it's a human eyes and then interpret as if it's a human brain. And from there, extract out the text. So our specialty is that we can process text from highly unstructured document that is many pages. And government, you have many pages, and they are unstructured. Highly unstructured means the format that varies quite a fair bit, even within the same company. So, for example, bank statement or financial report. This year the total is page 2. Next year the total is page 10. So how do you automate this? We can do it. So we are used by government, financial service, enterprises, basically to find insights and the various type of unstructured example or unstructured document like reports, financial reports, analyst reports, your colleagues reports, government reports, charts, tables, corporate filings, document websites, data feed, and contracts. These are things that you probably encountered. And what we do is that we are automating it. We help you to find this information very quickly. That because now you're dealing with more and more information, that for you to humanly go and search is a problem. It's not that you don't have information, but it's very hard to find them, to track them. So by using AI, it automates so that you can save more time, do more useful things rather than finding documents, information within document. It leads to greater efficiency, and that helps you have faster turnaround time and leads to higher service level. And that's part of the great thing about all this digital transformation that you can bring to your organization. Okay, just quick level, high level shows. Basically, our AI document processing platform is down here, the blue color. You just upload unstructured document as well as structured documents. It can be form text, image, websites, spreadsheet, structured document as well. We will look at it. It can be financial report, contracts, policies, email, exchanges with other people, and then it will output in the form of the font's a bit hard to see. We can easily find information. Things that will take you 3 hours to read through, you'll find it in seconds. We can create a report for you automatically. We can compare documents. We can extract from charts tables. We can find information that you can easier for you to build entity relationship charts like what Rohini has. We can do deep search, means search into unstructured document that you have a lot, that right now you can't find information inside. You have the documents, they're all over your intranet, but you can't find the information inside. You don't know which document to open because right now no search engine can read inside, but we can. We can create dashboard for you, we can automate process, and we can do gauge sentiments for you. I'll show you some examples. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a demo. And while I'm switching, any questions in the meantime? Okay, so I'm going to show you one example of my AI. This is called passing.com. I'll sign up first. Like to show you how it looks like from the beginning. Okay, never mind. Can't sign out yet. Okay, so for example, I understand you're mainly from tax department. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so it's just a web browser. It's very easy to use. You don't need to be a technical person. As a user, you just log in like that, web browser based. As a tax department, you may be the case where you need to, for example, find information or extract information from your financial statement of companies that you audit. Let's say, for example, in this case, we look at some Malaysia company. I have them. Okay, Genting. Okay. So let's for it. So maybe for Genting, you want to find out what is their, already their financial report. You have their annual report, or it can be quarter report. Okay. and you want to extract out information from the financial summary, which is have inside. It's just that for you to get out the information is very tedious. So we're waiting to load. Okay. So on the left side, you have is the PDF, the Genting. On the right side is structured data, which it converts, that it becomes an Excel. So you can easily manipulate the data after that. So let's go to the file summary, page 29. Okay. So here's the financial summary. So you can see this is actually pixels. This is not text. Okay, I cannot select the E. I cannot select the number 8. I cannot select the revenue. So by simply uploading down here, left side is the source, right side, it becomes the structured data already. You can actually download it, okay, or you can go and amend it if you want. Okay, and you can export the data into Excel file if you like. And then you can go on and to do your investigation or do your verification. Okay. There you go. So data done. You don't need to spend a lot of time to go manually type in. It works for PDF, it works for listed company as well as non-listed company. You may audit this private companies not listed. They may not put in a very nice PDF. But let's say they send you something like this. They scan their, like this one is scanned. You can see. So does it work? Okay. So you can send. Yeah, there you go. It works just the same. Actually, it's a bit crooked, but the AI is smart enough to understand. No problem. Other examples. What if is like because this software we developed from this we use it for Hong Kong Exchange. We understand English as well as Chinese, so it's not that you need it for Chinese, but if you want, or mainly to show to you if it's 90 degrees, full of watermarks, some slight distortion is okay. Upside down, the AI is computer vision is smart enough to handle, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Other things that you can also extract will be like, for example, bank statement. Okay, so maybe as part of auditing, you want to do extraction of bank statement, or you want to find where the information was stored inside the bank statement. And I know bank statement is quite popular as a source of data because the big five in Singapore are working with us, and they are trying to find it as one of the basics for them as a source of information. So here's standard bank information. This is DBS in Singapore. You see, you just take a picture using an iPhone, you upload it, and ta-da, you extract automatically, become structured data, and you can easily find, like if there's anything on the, you can easily find, you can upload it, and you can easily find information or process information in total. Excuse me. Okay, so other things you can process as well, not only just text, columns, and rows. What about this? We can even process infographics. Maybe you need to combine some data from third-party report or your own government reports. And these days, the information are stored in the form of infographics. That means images. Okay. And you like the information very much because you want to produce a report to recommend to your bosses or your department what to do, advise them on a strategy. But it's very troublesome to get the information out like this. But you don't worry. Also, you just upload the software, upload the PDF here, and you see the information comes out. So you see 96, everything here, you can see it highlights it. That means that you can see the number come out is structured data. You can even download the information. Okay, and it will come out in the form of PDF. Yeah, there you go. It's a simple one. But let's say, for example, this one, it doesn't even show the numbers at all. But look at it on the right side, 20.25, 23.25, 20.25, all this. Where did we get the numbers from? 35.2. You see, on the chart, it doesn't show, right? It comes from our AI. Our AI uses a computer vision. Look at the chart as if it's human eye, and you proportion it out and figure out the approximation of the number for you. So again, you can download it and you can use it in your reports and submission. Works for charts as well. Also works for graphs. So pretty software. What other things? Okay, so the underlying again summary of this is that to show to you you're not limited to just financial table, but basically anything's in tables, charts and graphs we can extract out. Okay, we just need to customize the software for you and you tell us what you want to extract out, we'll do the extraction for you together with Statworks, of course. Just a second. Okay. This is another software I want to show to you. Okay, and this one is used by our Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And this shows our ability to extract out from documents, human documents that you use daily, that you may come across. So for example, you may need to scan, you have scanned IDs of your people that you talk to, like this. But is there a way to easily extract out the information, or you need to manually type in? Or maybe they're overseas. So someone just send you the information, the ID like this, and we can automatically extract out. Sorry in Chinese, but it works for English as well. Just take my word for it, you know. So no problem for that. Other things that you can extract will be like okay, driver license. Okay, like this. You work for you Malaysia driver license as well. Passport, vehicle like certification, property certification. If you want to extract out information from it, not a problem. So you see, everything is extracted out. Other common things that you encounter will also be able to extract maybe invoices, tax invoices, bank, train, taxi income receipt, medical invoices. So maybe these are things that your people that your stakeholders you work with, you produce as evidence whatsoever, and you want to automatically extract out information, you can. So again, this case is a mix English and Chinese, but no problem, we can do it for your country as well. So other things that will be more complicated will be like this. So in Hong Kong Exchange, what they do is that they use our software. Well, you can think about it. Hong Kong Exchange is like a big gigantic hub where lots of people submit documents, and as a listed company, they must submit like a lot of things they must declare to the government, like they change CEO, they declare dividend, they hold AGM, they must inform the exchange, and they will send to them in the form of a notification. It's basically a letter. The letter can be a few pages or can be tens of 100 pages. And previously, they need to have humans to read through the document to find out what is the information inside and to extract out, quickly extract out what is the relevant ones that need to be published on the Hong Kong Exchange. Okay, and give you an example like this. This is basically AGM that is submitted by Geely, means the cars. There is like 81 pages, and the Hong Kong Exchange need to extract out any of these relevant things, 20 fields from this document. And they used to take about each person takes about a few hours, 3 to 5 hours to read through everything, because they cannot miss it. Imagine, must read through every line, every page, find the information, and then extract out the information, put into a Excel like that, and then they publish on the website. And they cannot afford mistakes, so they do it 3 times, 3 levels of check. Person A extract out, then they hand the same document. The second person read through 81 pages again, try to find out the same information, tally is it wrong or not. The person do it, and then that's to minimize error. And then they publish. So therefore, they actually have quite a few hundred people doing this, and they take a couple of days just to. They have a queue, because every day tens or thousands of such letters come, and they take a couple of days to produce the information. So with our AI, we just upload the information, and out it comes. So this job becomes completed in mere minutes. And the test and the checking verification is very easy. You just need to click on it. Okay, it tell you where the information is, even tells you the degree of confidence level, and it'll tell you where they got the information from. Yeah, so you see all this highlighted one, will show you where the information from. So it's easy for you to verify. So in production, our accuracy is we are working because it's using machine learning. It gets more and more accurate as you use more, and over time it becomes possible to be more accurate than humans. Okay, another example I'll show you is like the smartness of our software. Will be like this case. On the left side here is an annual report from First Commonwealth Bank. Okay? So instead of reading through 140 pages, the question is that, okay, you are not interested in reading everything, but you only want to find out where does it mention revenue or earnings. So you just pass through our software will automatically point out to you there. There you go. See? So you can skip reading through all these things that's white color. Means it's not relevant. And our software will easily pick up for you. So you don't, the whole time that you used to spend reading is drastically reduced. And because our software is going to read through every line, every paragraph, it will help you to pick up things that you otherwise may miss. So instead of taking maybe a few hours to read through, or half a day or one day, this thing will do it for you in maybe 10 minutes. So this is about that our AI helps you to find information from in form of text from documents. I'll show you another software. Okay, so you may be interested to monitor websites or news, okay? But there's a lot of information out there. So example of this is a news filtering software that we have. It uses our AI, and what it does is that in this particular demo, it's a company that wants to monitor the companies they are interested in, and they only want to monitor negative news. So you just set it to news, and you plug it to the data source that you want to feed it with, and it will help you to narrow down the news, the information that you need to see, so that you can react faster. So, for example, you read out all the news that, in this case, a bond investor, the bonds that the institution bond investor invested in. You monitor all the companies that you put in the watch list, and you filter out. Okay, and if you don't want to read everything, but you only want negative news, you just turn only negative, and you narrow it down. You see, there's negative. What does it mean by negative? Is that we use our AI to actually go and read inside the original source document, and to go and grade and score the content inside. Our AI scores it that is negative, then we will then show it as a negative. Okay, this is the original document. So we can use this AI for you to monitor whatever you like. Maybe talk about fraud or whatsoever, or bonuses, etc. So this is one example of AI. Another type that we use will be that you may want to do a comparison of a lot of quantitative numbers. So what it does here is, again, our AI is like a Google search, but you can write information inside, and you can easily do a comparison for you. So, example, let's say you want to compare the revenue of a particular company that you're checking versus companies inside the same cluster. So you want to compare how is the revenue, like, is it unusual? So is there an easy way to do it? So one way is for you is to get all their financial report and then you go manually plot out the graph and see if there's anything anomaly about it, right? But that will be quite time consuming. So I'm going to show you something easier to be done. Running, it's a bit slow, I think, because everybody works from home, so the internet is quite a bit crowded. Okay, while it's running, okay. So for this demo system, the server is actually sitting in China. Okay, while it's running, let me show you another demo. So this is a demo to show to you that we can search for unstructured data. So let's say you're interested in a company called iFlyTech, and your intranet, and your intranet contains a lot of report about iFlyTech. But how do you find those documents that is on inside mentioned iFlyTech and not just the subject, the file name? So our AI is able to look inside the document. How do we do? So this example like this is search result. All the documents, in this case, the database is searching is all the research reports that's covering iFlyTech. The other name is called HKUST. So you highlight you search out all the information that is got to do with all the documents that related to iFlyTech, HKUST. And in fact, you give you a summary of it, and even tell you what's the recommendation. These are brokers' research. So you actually also AI will actually look inside the document to see is it recommend to buy or sell, and give you a overview of that. So if you click on it, the document will actually open up its inside, and will actually read this whole. Our AI will read this whole document, and then know that this document is giving a buy recommendation about iFlyTech. So with that, we can pull it up. When you search on iFlyTech, it will come up. So we can apply that to your document search. You will have a lot of unstructured document of your own RHDN, as well as the client companies that you're working with or individuals, and you can easily pull out all the information inside related to them. Okay, so example, just I was trying to show you. Let's say you want to compare the revenue of your a particular company you're looking at right now. Okay. Okay, let's say you want to compare the revenue of a few companies. You just sorry, it's in Chinese, but basically it's compare company X, company Y, company Z, and then compare their, let's say, their bank deposit. And this software will actually pull out the information, but on top of that, you plot out the graph for you. You don't have to plot it up. The software will plot for you. And you enter using layman. In this case, it's Chinese. Sorry. Of course, we can work when we do it for you, it'll be English or English. Our software will use our AI to understand what you enter as a layman. We don't need you to be a database expert or technical expert. Our AI will understand and break it down to this sentence, and then we'll go fetch the data in the database and plot out the graph for you. So with this visually looking at it, it's much easier for you to detect any trends or anomalies. And you can raise your query whatever ad hoc. You can explore data freely. You don't have to depend on anyone. You don't have to raise requests to IT to come to you. So with that, I want to end my demo and then switch back to my PPT. So it comes back to the PowerPoint where I left off. Okay, possible use cases for government. You see in the software, we could actually automate application extraction and verification. So as all government services, you serve the public. the government, the public can apply for a lot of services from your department. Very often you're accompanied by supporting document that could be in the form of images or physical copy, you scan it. So how do you verify? So right now you must, even if you have the form, electronic form that's already filled in, let's say change of address. You say, oh, we changed the new address, but you want to verify the new address is valid by looking at the IC or identity card. So how do you automate that? So what can be done is example like this, simple example. The person just upload the photograph, take a picture of his IC. It doesn't even come down. You attach it, upload it, and send over to you. Our software can easily just look at the IC, extract out the address, compare against what was applied, and it does the check and then done. Automatically approved. No need any human verification. Something like simple like this, it can even be more complicated. That let's say, for example, you say that you are staying where you say stay. Your business address is there. Okay, I see a question. Okay, I'll come back to that. Oh, verification. Next, automate document categorizing, routing, processing. So what happens as a government service, you get a lot of queue requests every day, services requests, so on and so forth. And it may form an email or in form of e-forms. If it's a form of email, you do not know really what's inside unless you look at the email content. And you must have someone to read at it. And therefore, because you'll be first in, first out. Is there someone to automate so that, let's say you get 5,000 emails per day or 10,000 emails, how to automatically route it out within seconds so that the relevant department just look at it rather than you need someone to first look at all the 10,000 emails and route, correct? So our AI can look at the content and route for you. Extract information for tables, charts, graph, as I mentioned. You can, in your work, you may need to look at information from bank statement, or financial reports, or any other tables. Website monitoring, we've shown that. Unstructured document search. Over time, you may collect a lot of information about, let's say, Genting, but a lot of it will be unstructured. So you can, over time, over 10, 20 years, you probably have thousands of things about Genting. But let's say one fine day, you want to say about, okay, you want to search for information on Genting, but related to its, let's say, restaurant operation. Is there a way to quickly filter out and find restaurant? So our AI can be programmed such that it can look inside the document and pull out relevant information for you. We can do, next we can do even version comparison. So a lot of time we do version changes. So if someone changed version 1 and return back to you version 3 or version 2, and how do you know what are the differences? Our AI can actually compare and easily tell you where is the differences, which one is addition, which one is removed, and which is new. Compliance monitoring. We can automatically scan text, whether is it form of email or it can be e-service, whatever, to highlight things that you want us to look for. Whether is it dealing with entities that you're not supposed to or suspicious entity, we can automatically look at text and service out for you, like more complicated text. So these are some of the possible use cases. This is not limited by it. Our core technology is the AI in terms of natural language processing and computer vision. We can apply to many forms. We work through Statworks and work with you to consult and then to do a customized version for you. So just very quick example, Hong Kong Exchange, we've seen it already. So it leads to 80% reduction in effort, and something that used to take weeks reduced to 1 minute because we use AI. AI will look at it, much faster than any human can. This is the sovereign fund Singapore. We can calculate a lot of calculation inside their bank statement, or rather the fund statement. Something that used to take a lot of time for humans to look through every page in a report and then calculate out. It now takes minutes. This one is to apply for, we could actually automate a lot of new account creation or update. So someone just go to the website, upload, type in their changes or apply new account, they upload supporting document. Our software AI will pick up the supporting document, compare, and we also have a RPA along the way and automatically create new accounts into your system without changing any legacy IT systems. This is our China Life, where you do claims. They just take a picture of your handphone of their receipt and send to China Life. China Life use our AI to actually automatically look at the receipts and process the claim. This sentiment monitoring, which is the website. So basically that's that, and any requests subsequently do work through Statworks, and we're happy to come over to talk to you in Malaysia. That is finish my presentation, and just now there was a question of licensing. So for us, this is enterprise software, so there are two parts. This software must be customized because we must train the AI to fit what the document that you want to need to look at. We must customize the AI to find exactly the information you want. So we need some implementation upfront, and then after subsequently you go by licensing software, which includes support. So it goes on an annual basis. So so basically there's upfront, and then there's an annual subscription model, pretty much like AWS, and we work through Statworks. Any other questions? So customization needed. Oh, how long it takes for initial project to start? So it depends on the complexity of that you want to do. The advantage for us is that our AI, the platform is already there. So for us, training to even something very new takes much faster. So let's say, for example, like to extract from passport, probably you can do the identification of passport within less than a month. If you want to extract out from financial reports, we probably can do it within less than a month. You want to ask to extract out from bank statement, probably 1.5 months, because we must adapt to your local banks. And if you want us to extract from, let's say, reports like the Hong Kong Exchange, look for certain sentences, paragraphs, that one maybe take longer, maybe 2 months, 3 months. We need to train it. So it will depend on the complexity. Welcome.
Hi, Lip-Sing.
Yes.
I think that's all. Okay. I don't think so. I think some question from Horizon. What is your biggest project in hand?
One of our biggest in terms of daily volume is the Hong Kong Exchange. As you know, in the Asia Pacific, it's one of the busiest stock exchange, busier than Singapore, busier than Malaysia, Thailand. So we have tens of thousands of transactions going on every day. How long it took us to implement? We took about 6 months because they have actually many documents for us to look at. So AGM is one type of document, appointment changes is one type of document, dividend one type of document. They have like about 100, 200 type of templates they need us to create. And the number of companies that are listed is about 10,000. So we need to train quite a lot of it. It took about 6 months to implement. Well, I welcome that you all continue to keep in touch. What I share is just general information. What happens is that generally customers I talk to, they know by looking at this that we can solve some of the manual work that they used to do and not possible beforehand. There are a lot of new use cases specifically to your own department. The question will be whether is it possible. So the best way is for us to talk to you together as Statworks. So after this, if you're interested, you find relevant use cases, and think of go through Statworks, and we'll be happy to get in touch with you. So with that, coming back to Kumar.
Yeah, thank you, Lip-Sing. I think that's all. I'll see you in the next session. We'll address the new date, and thank you very much, Lip-Sing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.